Gamer Feed Radio.
What's going on, everybody out there in podcast land? This is Gamer Feed Radio. I am your host, Nick Delicave, joined by the always debonair Brad Wallace. What's up, Bradley?
Hanging in there. New year. This year should be a pretty stellar one.
Yeah, it should be good. And, you know, no one heard, like, the first 2 seconds of what you said because I was too slow clicking the mute button. But
hey, that's okay.
You're back.
This year's going to be a big one. We're going to see the NX. We're going to get a new Zelda game, maybe, probably, maybe not. Who knows? I'm still sticking true. I think we get the NX launch this year. But
I think it's going to be awesome.
Coming out. Like, literally, this year, there's, like, way more stuff I'm excited about than last year. Like, no joke.
Yeah, I mean...
Mostly because a lot of the stuff got delayed till this year, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, E3 is going to be super sweet. I think we're going to see some amazing stuff.
One of those crazy years, as we called one of those good old crazy years.
Yeah, so it's
if
been
only
a while
for the news. I don't know if there's going to be as many crazy releases as last year, because last year we had all kinds of fun.
I don't know. Sony is claiming that 2016 is going to be the most balla year that ever was.
Yeah, well, you know,
just saying.
All right.
Well, anyway, so hello everybody out there. And it's been a little while since we have chatted at y'all. And with the holiday and travel and work and all the fun stuff that happens and our inability to find a mutual time meant we would just have to wait a little teensy-weensy bit on the show. And it was a much-needed break for everybody after having done this for almost 2 years. I think we earned it. So thank you for your patience, loves, and supporting. People were still giving all the shows some awesome listens over the break, and I mean, I think all the numbers for all the shows practically doubled.
Yeah,
all of them for like the last 20.
Nice.
So cool that people are out there listening, and hopefully you've heard something you liked and continue listening. In the meantime, we have all kinds of fun stuff going into year 2, which is like what June is officially the middle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, E3 this year is officially 2 years of having done this, which is hilarious.
Wow.
And crazy all at the same time.
Extremely crazy.
I can't even believe it. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, so we're here. We're all having fun. Hopefully you're checking out the podcast on the, here's the commercial, on all of the podcast things, like iTunes.
Whoa, yeah, I'm looking at our views now. Not that I didn't believe you. But
I'm
not
just
views, listens.
Yeah,
how about that? They all went up like a lot.
Well, and the website, believe it or not, people have been going there and clicking through and following the links over to YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Nobody really liked the Destiny speaker cast, but that's okay.
Well, it was a different crew.
And it's one game, but still, for one game.
Yeah, and it was a pilot, just to kind of see what would happen.
It's definitely good. Has that even continued? I have to apologize for not keeping up.
No, it was just a
one-time,
put the feelers out thing. But the group definitely, they're awesome, and they play a zillion different things, and so a lot of those guys will be guests on future shows, so stay tuned for that, everybody.
Dads of Destiny?
Actually, no. Actually, I don't think any of them are, now that I think about it, which is kind of sad, because I have hundreds of... But anyway, so you can check us out on iHeartRadio, on Twitter and Facebook, and, we do all kinds of cool, forward news and shares from big news stories on our Facebook page, so, if you're looking for something with, smart ass commentary in the post, we're the place that you can come listen. But anyway, today's show, we're going to kind of do like a pseudo noobs feed because we missed it in December, and there was a ton of stuff that happened in December, right? The PlayStation Experience event and all kinds of other news that went on. All of that's great.
The VGXs.
Video Game Awards, yeah, that's out there. But I think we'll just go ahead and save that and the rest of it for next week's show, which is the Grampies. So for those of you that are completely clueless, the Grampies are our inside joke version of awards for the year. So all our award show for 2015 will be next year. The Grampy name comes from the original Atari 2600 joystick, which was like a big thing last year. We call it the Grampy. It's funny.
And it was good.
So this year it'll be a same format next week, and we'll give you more information. So definitely stay tuned if you're interested in our 7 thoughts on what we thought was good and not good in 2015. I'm sure you'll be shocked. Just maybe.
Thanks.
But so for this week, we've got our Noobs feed, and I'd be remiss if I didn't slap in here a little bit of some love music. Which one of these do I want to pick? Let's go this one. It's time for the Noobs feed. Woo! As it slowly comes on in here.
We're a little rusty. It's been 1 month. 1 month.
I think that's the longest we've ever gone without.
Yeah, we needed a good break, though.
We did.
I'm glad. It's the new year, so I feel like we get this maybe new momentum. Some people go back, listen to the old stuff. I think I got a good feeling.
I'm totally with it. So we'll go ahead and we'll kick off this Noobs feed with some super sweet touches on the PlayStation experience from the end of last year. Now, that was a big show that PlayStation does every year, and they announced a bunch of really interesting, great, cool things. We're not going to go through the giant list by now. If you haven't heard about it, it's time to, get a life. But anyway, we'll cover just a couple things that I thought were interesting that I think this team may have some thoughts on. The first one is, and this is going to sound totally random, everybody's going to be like, what are you talking about? Ni no Kuni, which was an RPG for the PS3 done by the... I think it's now defunct, but infamous Studio Ghibli out of Japan. Great animators. Did all the artistic artwork for the RPG. It was absolutely fantastical. And the game was amazing. I played it quite a bit, and I think I talked about it on several of the shows when we first started. But Ni no Kuni 2 is now apparently on deck and coming soon to a PS4 near you. Definitely announced. The trailer was out there. I think we posted it on our Facebook page. Definitely check it out. Same animation styles, same art direction group, everything. It's going to be an interesting story if you like that anime JRPG feel. But it was announced in things, so very cool. Brad, thoughts, jokes?
I played the first Ni no Kuni.
You did?
And maybe you guys knew this, maybe you didn't. That was the last Japanese RPG I ever played, and will probably be the last JRPG I ever play.
Why?
So I bought into it thinking, for all the reasons you were talking about, like beautiful animation, it was like this big game. And at that point I was I go in like phases and waves with my gaming. Like sometimes I'm all hardcore, heavy duty gaming, and then sometimes I'll kind of recede and not really play so much. Like, really I'm in like this kind of a weird spot now where I haven't played like a whole lot since, like, I don't know, last year I didn't play a ton of games. Like, I played a lot of games. Like, I'm a big geek. I'm a big nerd still. But, like, I don't know. This is my one last effort, basically, with the JRPG genre. And I literally, like, I played it for probably 30 hours. Like, I actually kind of, like, deep dove into it as best as I could. And I got to this point where I just got stuck at this boss fight. I just felt like I was too weak. And I was like, well... Like, I could look up a guide, I could start grinding and leveling up all my little Pokemons, because it's kind of like Pokemon, that game where you have these little team of monsters, and it was just really complicated, and it got to this point where I was that far in, and I feel like I did nothing. Like, I feel like I barely scratched the surface of the game, and I was like, it wasn't 30, it was more like maybe 15 to 20, but still, like, that's like an entire other game length, and I felt like I was in the first, 20% of that game. And I was just like, oh my God, I do not want to do this. And I sold it like, however many weeks later, days later. But I wanted to like it so much, but JRPGs just aren't my thing at all. Like, I can't do them. I literally can't do them.
I mean,
the only one I want to play or replay ever again is like the original Pokemon, not even the new ones. I don't think if I got like X or Y or Ruby, Sapphire, like, I don't think I would even be into those as much. Like, but there's something about the nostalgia of Red and Blue, which I can't wait to get on Virtual Console. Mini little, what's it called? announcement there that they're coming to Virtual Console in February. It's something that's not on the list.
It's a good tie-in.
It's a good tie-in, you know. But yeah, I'm kind of done with those, and I'm never going to play a JRPG again. The end.
No, I mean, look, it's not everybody's bag. I really enjoyed the game. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it, given the fact that, I don't have... Okay, I have time. I'm just very choosy with how I use it, and I just dumped everything into that game when it was out, and I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a great experience. Of course, I beat it. It was thrilling, and for what it was. But I'm kind of excited that there's a second one. There should be. It was a good game. It sold pretty well on PS3, if memory serves. So I anticipate that JRPG fans everywhere will be thrilled with it. And if you're not, there are many other games to play.
Word.
Boom.
Boom.
We'll do this a little out of order. So Ratchet and Clank in April, apparently.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Actually, that's one that's sort of on my radar, except that Dark Souls 3 comes out at the exact same time.
And so does our Uncharted 4. It got pushed from March to April.
Yeah, that's both of those.
April's going to be enormous.
Dark Souls is going to, that's a game that, I know I'm going to play that over the other two. So that's, of the three kind of in contention, that's the one that gets my vote.
Yeah, I mean, it just... So the whole thing with the Ratchet and Clank announcement was, it's in conjunction with, I guess, the movie that they're trying to put together. And,
but the cool thing about it is that isn't it a remake of the PS2 game?
Mm-hmm.
The original, just Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a series that got bogged down with 100 sequels. They pimped the crap out of that poor...
and then they PSP'd it, and...
Yeah. He's a wombat, that's what he is, right?
I don't know. I mean, I thought after Crash Bandicoot...
I thought he was Crash Bandicoot.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I thought after that, for sure, they would have, learned the mascot lesson. There can be only one, but...
I remember playing it. My cousin had it, way back in the day, and I remember I liked it. It was actually a really fun little game. And the fact that it's cheap, it's not a $60 game. It's only $30 or $40, I think. And the graphics look, insanely good. So ridiculously good looking that, it's incredible. Literally, it might be one of the best looking games. I've only seen it in YouTube form, but still. In those videos, it probably might be my pick for best looking game. Seriously, have you seen it? It's 60 frames, the art style's popping, and I love it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm definitely excited about learning more. I never was a fan of the original series. I didn't really get into it, even though I've owned PlayStation since the original. But it's cool that it's coming. I think some people aren't super stoked about it. Hooray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remote play for PlayStation, which up until this point has been limited to either those of us that were stupid enough to get a Vita, and of course I traded mine in.
Don't say that.
I mean that genuinely. Or had a Sony Xperia mobile device. Why would you do that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot you could do that to your phone.
Yeah, why would you do that? Is now coming to PC and Mac.
Woo.
Which is awesome. That to me is one of those kinds of technologies that could be... Well, it's going to be amazing for me. Listen, I travel for a living, so wouldn't it be thrillingly awesome if I could just take my Mac with me on my business trip, and at night, after I'm done slaving on customer sites all day, to go back to my hotel room over a delicious beverage of my choosing, and hook into my PS4 and play whatever I want.
I like the way you think.
From the comfort of my luxurious hotel room accommodations.
Nice.
I think that sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing.
And I know that it's cool because people who are big PC gamers, while there's a little emulation technology in there, and it's not exactly one-to-one.
And it's mostly illegal because you're stealing stuff, but that's okay.
Well, but I mean, now that it's coming for reals, I think it's an interesting cross-play, because I think I was trying to figure out why Sony would go there, other than it makes perfect sense. And
Yeah, that's very unlike Sony to do something the obviously
but
good
right,
way.
and you look at like Xbox that is clearly moving into the PC world with its parity, right? We want you to be able to play
Yeah.
your Xbox One on your PC, etc. So it kind of makes sense that Sony gives PC gamers an option other than Xbox. And I think
Yeah.
it's really smart. I mean, they already have the technology, so why not pimp it?
Yeah, that's gonna be potentially killer if they pull it off right. And it's
Uh,
gonna be the same way with any streaming where like you
mm-hmm.
probably won't want to play your competitive FPS on it. But something like, a little more casual would translate like so well to it, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's a huge, uh, and that is not to quote Donald Trump, but it's a
It's
huge,
gonna be huge.
huge um,
Oh god.
feature.
Hey, now that it's 2016, we officially get to say that this is the year that Donald Trump was elected president. I'm just saying.
And I'm going to go ahead and say no comment. I don't know what that says about our mutual sophistication or lack thereof, but no comment. So anyway, moral of the story is awesome technology coming to PC and Mac. Getting PlayStation games into the hands of more gamers is an awesome, awesome thing. Giddy up, Sony.
Yo.
That's all I'm saying.
Yo.
Okay. The other thing that was announced at Destiny, and then there were several other things that popped on about the Destiny announcement. So everybody was expecting this big new thing about the future. You, on many occasions yourself, Bradley, have indicated, my God, Destiny 2, hurry up. It's the only thing I really am interested in. Even though you could have picked up the entire Destiny, all of it, for $29.99 on Amazon over holiday. Definitely worth that price for all the content that you get. But anyway, so their announcement was
Here it comes.
Sparrow racing.
Wow.
So, I think the room collectively, like if you watch the announcement, people were just sitting there with their mouths open and not in a good way. Like, you're kidding me, right?
This was the Wonder Book moment.
It was the Wonder Book moment. So, and actually, very punny in a way. So, hey, you can, ride around on sparrows, which admittedly is something that the community originally said, hey, I've got this cool sparrow. Why can't I do something with it? The problems with it are it was very limited. It was only like 2 tracks, so it was super repetitious, and they slapped on a zillion different microtransaction options, one of which was this book that you could buy, item, for $10 that let you track your progress. So like, hey, on this map, go do these things. On this map, go do... And when you do these things, you can get special gear only for this event. So it's not... it's limited to just the activity. It's not like a total game impact, which was a big fear a lot of people had. And, people lost their minds. They were like, wait a minute, $10 for this stupid book? Like, it should be $1.99 maximum. And, you're forcing me to pay extra money for something I should just get. And that sent everyone into a tizzy. I actually enjoyed the Sparrow Racing. It was actually, for what it is in a game that was not designed to do racing, is actually pretty good. And you did get some pretty good gear, just like generally speaking, that you could use in game, which was nice. So the base part of it is free and didn't cost anything. So it's not like you had to buy the extra crap that was there. It was a fun diversion. You could go in with 6 people and do matchmaking or just do a team and race against everybody, and that was actually a lot of fun. Yeah. Now, after that, secretly, and I mean secretly, right before Christmas, and this is going to push the Brad Wallace buttons. So if you pre-ordered the Taken King, the last expansion, you got an item that came with the game called the Spark of Light or whatever, which basically the Spark of Light let you create a new character if you wanted, like in WoW, and it was like a boost. So you get the expansion and you get this boost. You can put a new character to level 25 or whatever it is, and you can then have that new character play the new content. You don't have to grind all your way through if you don't want. People are like, dude, that's so awesome. That's great. I don't have to go through the crap. That's so nice of you. Until right before Christmas, they released, first in Europe, and then it picked up on the Reddits, and then hit the North American PlayStation Store. Now they're selling the damn thing for $30. So if you want, you can start a new character, and it does, so it's not just the boost. You get the boost, and it lets you complete one entire subclass. You know, you have 3 subclasses, so it'll let you select which subclass you want to finish, and it'll do that, and it gives you some, like, you know, telemetry and items and other things. It's just, you know, consumable stuff. And people are, like, just furious. So
yeah.
I agree that the price is absurd. However, I am not opposed if you're, let's say you're a dad and you've got a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old who was not interested in playing Destiny and then at first, or hadn't played it or wasn't playing it, and then for Christmas they got it for Christmas and now they want to play, but they want to play with you. Why should they have to grind 10,000 hours to get to a level where they can join you when you can just drop $30 and then they can run with you right
$30? Oh.
And I will tell you,
God.
I think it's super niche, but people are buying it.
This is like, if this isn't the thing that, like, breaks everybody, like, nothing will.
Yeah.
You know? This is just like if people put up with this, then that's like the end of video games as far as I'm concerned.
And people are putting up with it.
It's so like, oh my God, just buy a different damn game at that point.
Right?
Why don't you spend $60 on a game and then spend $30 to boost your like, oh my God.
Well, you get one free one with Taken King.
It's so bad. Like, this is like this makes me, like, literally never want to play anything Destiny related again. Makes me want to, like, delete. Like, it's so ugly and gross. And the whole thing is just stupid. Like,
it's really bad. Now, so for me,
I used to love that game, and now, like,
listen,
like, they're actively trying to piss Brad Wallace off and make the exact decisions that I think would be.
As all of Bungie sits in a room and listens to this show on iHeartRadio or not. Look, my feeling on it is this. It is still entirely 100% optional. You do not have to purchase it. You can just play the game on a separate character, go through all the missions and all the levels, and never even think about it. But the option does exist for specific circumstances that some people are definitely willing to pay for. And I actually know of several people that dropped it because they're like, dude, I am not grinding through that crap for, another 25 hours or whatever. So
it's fine. It's not the thing in principle that makes me mad. It's a couple things, and I'm going to have to elaborate here, so I might go on a little baby rant here.
Baby rants are okay.
The entire game is designed around grinding. Like, there's not, and I won't say there's not a lot of content in Destiny, because there is, but there's not a lot of variety in the content, I'll say that. So you're basically doing the exact same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's insanity. But the whole point is that they designed the game around the mechanic of grinding, and then they're brave enough to ask you to pay $30 to skip the grinding to get to the actual quote-unquote fun stuff, like the raids and, the higher level missions. Because it's basically them admitting that like 99% of their game is like rat poop, and then this 1% that's really fun when you've all leveled up, like, that's the fun stuff. Why not just skip right ahead to that? Because that's where the real quote-unquote game is. Like, it's just so bad to me. Like, I love Destiny's raid, and I still maintain that, it's like the Vaults of Glass is like one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Like, literally, if the game were just that, it would be a 10 out of 10. But, price and everything aside, like, it's like literally one of the most fun things I've ever done. But, like, everything else about it, the whole grinding to get there and the, like, every other decision and the microtransactions and the blah, it just kills me. Like, it's not even that I'm upset that they have an option to skip ahead and level ahead like that. It's that it's $30 if you want to do it. If they
Yeah.
made it literally like this is how my perfect world I'd design it. Make it so that you're not allowed to buy it. Like it's literally you're not allowed to buy it until you've already leveled up your character to the cap or something like that. Meaning you've clearly played the game and gotten the full experience and all that. And then if you go to create another character, make it like $2 to $5 is like the most, and that's like ridiculous anyways. But like $30 to just skip all these levels, like that's just crazy to me. It's like, and the fact that people actually want to spend $30 on it.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's like almost a Nintendo 3DS. Like you could just buy a whole new million time better game system with $30 almost. Now you go to Nintendo's website, you can get a 2DS for $59. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy.
It is, and you have to wonder how much of it is Bungie and how much of it is Activision, because as we all know, it's Activision reeks of microtransactions. It's the great Satan of their arsenal, and people are paying it. Now, that drama alone was one piece of it. The last part, and then we'll move on, is at the PlayStation experience, everybody was expecting this big announcement. They got nothing. So then, of course, the natural question is, so we're not getting anything else?
Yeah.
Because you told us you were going to tell us what's coming, and by that we thought, like the year before, you were going to give us the next 6 to 9 months of a schedule so that we kind of know what to anticipate, and you gave us the next 2 weeks. So
at this point, I'll say Destiny 2, quote unquote. I keep saying that, quote unquote. I'm going to stop saying that, quote unquote. But I think Destiny 2 now comes out spring 2017, and I'd bet my life on it. I sincerely bet that's like the last of Destiny. And again, I said this about the House of Wolves, so who knows what I know. But,
well, you did. And I'll say that I think the challenge is that millions and millions of people play this game, just like WoW, just like Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
And it's enough of a community and it's a loud one, hence why there's always something Destiny in the news every week. At least it seems to me. So the fact that it's still in the news feed every single week, people are paying attention, they care, and they, to some extent, enjoy it in some way or another. So the first thing was they were like, well, we're only going to be doing event-based activities for the next year until the next big release, i.e. Destiny 2. Then Activision at their shareholder meeting said, no, we don't think that there won't be another big DLC or expansion or new next game. Then Bungie comes back and says, oh yeah, well, just because we said we're only going to do event-based for right now doesn't mean that we aren't saying there isn't going to be more. But then when they announced the events thing, they said we have nothing else to announce at this time. So everybody's like, so you're not going to make any more stuff. We're just going to be playing Iron Banner once a month, Trials every weekend, and an occasional holiday-themed tower. Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, Destiny. It's a love-hate relationship. You either love it or you hate it.
That's like the most frustrating game on earth because like it's so close to being like the premier next-gen game for me. And it was for literally vanilla about like a month, maybe 2 months.
I would love for you to play Trials of Osiris. I think you would be amazing.
I bet I would. I bet I'd like it, that stuff. But like, I'd rather them package it in a different way and make it more standalone than having to be these fangs that sink into your original game. Like, I don't know.
We'll see. We will see. Okay, moving on. Next topic, Final Fantasy VII. They released some remake footage at the PlayStation Experience.
Word.
And announced that it's coming in, quote, episodes.
Yeah. Nothing.
Really?
Literally, I'm not even a big JRPG person, as I literally just said. But, like, this couldn't have killed any little hype I had for it. I don't know. I was expecting it to be, a big, full game. There's nothing as much as I hate DLC, and I don't think I've ever got to rant about this. As much as I hate DLC, I think I hate episodic games like 100 times more.
Yeah.
Like the idea, like these Walking Dead and all these Telltale, like season 2, episode 1, season 1, episode 3, and they're all like $5 to $20. Like I don't even, like it's the stupidest
It's
thing on
a
earth.
money
It's
grab.
a mess. It is such a mess to even try to like this is I also don't watch TV. Like I hate TV shows. Like I hate shows with seasons and episodes and multiple like all that crap. Like I just show me a 2-hour movie, damn it.
You just need
Like,
you just need to live in a cave with
Yeah.
a bear.
Yeah. Like The Revenant starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Idiot. Oh
That
my.
is January 8th. Directed by Academy Award winner director. Okay.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, I think maybe we're getting at some root thing here. You're like my video game therapist, and
I am thrilled to provide that service to you, barely free of charge.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, no, like I don't even like I don't care about exotic games. I'm gonna say that.
I'm furious actually because for as long as they have deliberately, and I say that with severe emphasis, deliberately withheld. I did on purpose. Deliberately withheld the release of this game, only to do this and then try to monetize the crap out of it. It's like rage all the time. So any excitement that I had for the game, and I'm sure if Kyle were here, he'd be like, well, that's kind of dumb, guys, but I'm going to play it. So,
yeah. If they give away the first episode for free on PS Plus, though, that's going to be like...
Okay, that would be a great marketing strategy, and it would be... But there's nothing less dirty about that than Destiny and microtransactions. So to me, it's the same thing. It's like... I totally agree with you on this specifically, especially for anybody that's played Final Fantasy VII. Just give me the game with pretty graphics. That's all I want. I want to relieve the exact experience.
$6 for it. It's already overpriced as it is.
Yeah.
Like, just that's fine. Like,
especially if you download it digitally.
Right. You can literally get the same game for like $8 right now.
200% margin.
On any other, Like,
it makes me so crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing.
Boo.
Like, they just did that with Resident Evil something or the other, too. It's like episodic Resident Evil. Like, who the F wants that? And one of the worst parts about Metal Gear Solid 5, which is a game that I adore, as we all know. Like, that game is episodic inside the game itself. Like, literally the game is just a list of missions that you select on a menu. Like, that's the whole game. Like it's just weird to me. I don't know. I do not like that kind of thing at all.
I'm really, really disappointed in that announcement, and I think a lot of people are. Unfortunately, millions and millions of people will drop whatever it costs to get it because of their enraged fandom, and
like, can you
Square
imagine,
will make millions.
I'm imagining this nightmarish Nintendo that releases like Ocarina of Time episodic, where like the first part you're a kid, and then it stops, and then you buy the second part.
You buy the second temple.
Like, yeah, you buy like, oh my god, you buy the side quests, and like, there's nothing less user friendly than that kind of crap, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you.
Just make it
makes me
like
crazy.
The Walking Dead games in particular, like the episodes of that crap, like. It's like, just make a game called The Walking Dead and release it. Like, eventually they end up packaging it all together, Game of the Year style. But, like, it's so stupid to me. I don't know. I couldn't be less into that stuff.
I don't understand it at all. All right, anything else on PlayStation Experience before we move on?
Oh, I got a couple of big ones that I'm going to be talking about.
Giddy up.
This one could actually probably be the kicker for the whole show, but we're not. We're gonna bring it up midway. And I'm surprised this wasn't on your list, and I wasn't gonna say anything until now. But this is literally maybe the biggest news of the entire year, and it happened like a week before the end of the year. Sony signs Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions as a console exclusive partner.
I did.
That is like top dog. King Kong announcement. That's like Godzilla fights Pacific Rim level epic announcement right there. Like that's like, especially as we know for me, like, this is unbelievable. This is about as happy as I could be. And I was really worried that Kojima would stop making movies, or I meant stop Freudian slip.
Whoop.
But stop making video games and start doing movies or anime or comics or something. But like, I'm so glad he's sticking with video games and he's working with Sony and everything's happy and hunky dory. Like, this is about the happiest outcome from this whole Konami catastrophe that could possibly ever happen. Like, this is so huge. It's original new IP, no Metal Gear, nothings, and this, that, the others, and yeah.
Agreed. That is, in fact, big news that I missed. Continue.
The other little piece of, fan speculation is PlayStation's obviously pumping VR heavily.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the type of genre that works really well in VR is the first-person genre. Hey, wait, didn't Kojima work on something first-person in the past? Wait, two letters are coming to mind. Yeah. P and T. Oh my god! PT's gonna be in VR. Oh my god! I can cry.
I can tell you right now that I will never play that game.
I'm gonna buy 1,000 copies and give them to everybody else.
I would crap my pants literally every 10 seconds.
That would literally be like the most incredible thing ever. Like, it'd be the best thing ever. It would be the best movie. It'd be the best game. It'd be the best everything.
Yeah,
like,
I
if
would.
They made a
I would
full
not. I would.
level game.
I would like. I mean, I think PlayStation VR, which by the way got lots of press at PlayStation Experience, but it was kind of like meh.
I'm gonna bring up one more announcement, but go ahead.
But anyway, so I mean, that's the kind of game I would not play. But I am very excited that they're bringing something like that. Or that the genre does or would in fact work very well with that medium. So I think it's a win-win. I just can tell you right now that I don't exactly desire being in a more real haunted house.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Just thinking about it now, I'm like literally grinning. Like, I'm so happy just thinking about just the possibility of PT living on in VR is like the happiest video game thing I've ever dreamed of. Like, I don't think you understand how much I love PT. Like, obviously.
No, I understand.
It was my game of the year last year.
I recall.
That was my game of the year. Like, it's the best thing ever. But I'm just like, my favorite quote, maybe one of my favorite video game developer quotes ever was Kojima's as we made PT, we wondered, are we going to make this too scary? Is the player going to stop playing and ever finish the game? And then we thought, nah, let's just continue and make it the scariest thing ever made. And that made me so happy. As someone that's a big horror fan in all of its forms, movies, games, books, everything, I just really enjoy horror. PT is the single scariest thing I've ever experienced. And the fact that just the hint of it in VR, makes me want to cry. I'm so happy.
Hey, I'm, and your emotional state is really important to me. So moving on.
Wait, one other.
No, that's what I meant. Whatever your one more thing, Steve Jobs.
My one more thing. I'm talking about Team Ninja's Samurai action game, coming to North America. I'm just kidding. No, I don't care. No, I'm talking, of course, about Res VR. Oh my god, Res. Which I've talked about a couple times now. I used to say I never talk about it, and now I've said that I've never talked about it enough times that I've talked about it. But Res is literally my second or third favorite game of all time, and it's very close to being number one as far as the overall experience. It's just Ocarina of Time is just so much better. But Res VR, literally, I'm not kidding, makes me as happy as thinking about PT in VR, except that Res VR is actually happening. And literally, I'm not kidding. PSVR was not on my radar the slightest bit. Wasn't even close to being on my radar. It was in another galaxy of not my radar that I cared about. I like VR and I'm interested in it in general. But now because of Res Infinite, I promise I will be pre-ordering and buying PlayStation VR, Res Infinite, everything.
I don't believe in pre-ordering a DLC,
man.
I'm
doing it. I'm doing all in on Res Infinite. This is the single most exciting actual announcement of the year, maybe the past 5 years.
You're crazy.
I'm telling you, this is going to be this is my bold prediction, because Rez has a culty fan base, which I'm totally a part of.
Clearly.
Actually, I'm not even kidding. I secretly run a Rez Facebook page.
Stop talking.
Okay, I'm just saying.
But
Rez's fan base, like, we all understand that, like, Rez is the best game ever. Like, if it wasn't for Ocarina of Time, this would be the best game ever. And, like, it's on another level.
Thank God for Ocarina of Time.
I'm just saying, it's like the evolution of video games, and that came out like 14 years ago. And nothing's come close to matching Rez, including the little spiritual successor. Like, it was good, but didn't come close to matching Rez. Rez is like the proof in concept of like games being something more than like Super Mario Brothers to me.
Lies.
Like, if you haven't played it, it's gonna sound like insanity. And if you watch a video, someone just shooting cubes in space, it's not gonna make any sense. But I promise, like, might be the Wii Sports moment that, like, it becomes this literally almost religious cult thing where people just become obsessed with that game. Because I think whoever plays it and, like, gets it really thinks that it's, like, one of the best games ever made.
I think you might be a little biased.
I don't know. There's this fan base that's unlike any fan base of anything I've ever seen.
Which someone who is biased would say about said fan base that they may, in fact, be a part of to the ninth circle of its core.
Small. I'm just saying the fact that it's so small and so strong, and it's
like the Illuminati.
It is, actually. There's like this.
You are a complete
video game
fool.
Nerds like me. I'm saying Res Infinite could give Ocarina of Time a run for its money for the single greatest video game experience in the history of the medium.
Well, I'm very glad that in mentioning Ocarina of Time, you are therefore also talking about Nintendo, which will be the next part of the Noobs feed. There are a few things. First of all, a little bit.
We finally got a. Did we talk about the Direct in one of our previous episodes? I can't remember. I think we did.
We did.
Okay.
But there's two things, right? So the first one is no more Smash Brothers updates. Frowny face.
Understand? Oh God! Stop it.
This is where I need violin music. But anyway,
I love the man. Okay.
No, I love him. But no, look. Yeah. So Sakurai last. This is it. February. It's like the end of the end for this version of Smash. Amiibos will still release, I guess, but no more like in-game updates. So the last round was, hey, you can play as Cloud. Hey, you can play as What's-Her-Flake from Bayonetta. Hey, you can play as this other chick from Fire Emblem series, which no one cares. And everybody's like, oh, okay, there's more. Why? In fact, the Bayonetta chick entrance into the game almost made the ESRB force Nintendo to raise the age rank of Smash.
Damn, really?
Yeah. Because she's scantily clad, as we all know.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Come on, I mean,
she's
barely wearing anything.
Over the top. I know, but who cares?
And for a Nintendo game, it's a thing. Anyway, so there's that.
It's a little racier than they're usually doing.
Than any of the other characters in Smash?
I'm
just saying. The other bit of Nintendo news...
Yoshi, he's naked, and he's a dinosaur.
Please, he's a cartoon dinosaur. They're all naked. Anyway... The other news is Twilight Princess HD.
God, yes, I can't wait. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for that stupid runaway carriage part at the beginning that I totally hate.
Yeah, the whole beginning of that game in general.
I would love the game.
It really sucks.
That's the part I hate.
Like,
I don't mind creeping around and, like, watch the guy with the light and, sneak into the house and get the shield and all that crap. Like, find the kitty cat for the milk jar. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me.
That bothers me a lot. Everything about the first, like, third
3 hours?
Yeah. Like, even more than that. I think the first 3 dungeons are really weak. And I think everything you do to get to them really sucks. The purifying the place of bugs in every area sucks. The dungeons are not good. The bosses are not good. Like, literally everything about the first 3 dungeons, from the beginning of the game until you get to the desert temple thing,
mm-hmm.
like, that game just, like, is not fun and sucks. But the end of the game is like some of the best Zelda stuff ever.
Yes.
So it's like it's so weird to me. Like it's like bipolar Zelda. Like the worst parts of Twilight Princess.
That's the point.
I guess, but like the worst parts of that game are like literally the worst stuff in Zelda history, except for Zelda 2, which is an abomination that does not even deserve the Zelda name.
But it's not that bad.
No, it's worse than anything I could possibly throw at it. I literally, that's the only Zelda game I've never like beaten of the main.
That's because you clearly lack skill.
No.
Oh yeah.
I've beaten Mega Man 2. I've played some old.
Everyone can beat Mega Man 2. You just got to commit.
I guess. Yeah, but like I literally got to this part where I was stuck in this godforsaken hallway in the middle of the mountains with these monsters, and I realized like this might be like the most annoying worst game I've ever played. And if I had to make a top 10 or bottom 10 worst games ever, like I genuinely think Zelda 2 Adventure Link would be on there. Like it's so unbelievably bad. There's no redeeming qualities except for the music's really good.
The music is quite good.
Awesome 8-bit music, just as good as like. It has a lot of iconic tunes that aren't just the Zelda theme, which is awesome. Like the temple music in that game is like
it's so good.
But I just can't stand the combat. I can't stand everything about that game. But that's the worst Zelda game, which almost lives with the CDI games in my head. It doesn't count. It's not real.
Wow.
But Twilight Princess is my bottom pick otherwise. If it weren't for Zelda 2, Twilight Princess would be my bottom pick. Only because the worst parts of that game are so bad. But the highest highs are in that game. Like literally, other than Ocarina of Time, like if I were to go by my favorite Zelda moments, like Twilight Princess would have like a ton of them. Like the city in the sky.
Yeah.
The Yeti temple is like my second favorite Zelda temple ever. Like the Forest Temple in Ocarina is my favorite Zelda temple of all time. But like the Yeti temple is like my second favorite. Like it's so unbelievably good. And it's weird is that like online that the tempo doesn't get a lot of credit, I feel like, in the Zelda nerd community, which I'm totally in tune with. But like, it's so good. Like I literally want to buy the HD one just for the Yeti part of the game. Like it's so fun. I'm sorry, I'm like ranting hardcore.
No, I mean, listen, I think, again, I'm glad that this is an event session, but no, I mean, look, it's good. It's a great game. People really enjoyed it. It's handleable.
I really hope that they fix some of the bad parts that we were just both talking about there with Wind Waker style fixes, the way they did the fast sail and the Triforce quest and all that. Like, I really hope they make the bugs a lot less annoying. The first whole part of that game less annoying.
We will all find out.
It's not that game's too short either. Like that game's like 60 to 70 hours long without even doing side quests.
Yeah.
Like it's by far the biggest Zelda and the longest Nintendo game even that isn't like a stupid JRPG. It's a good game. Other than the beginning part, which I totally agree with you. But the HD is coming. That's great. It's good. It gives Nintendo fans something to play. Like, real game that I'm excited for in 2016.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Whee!
All right, two more.
That Wolf Link amiibo looks so good.
It's all good. Two more things, and then we will wrap it. The first is just announced the other day that Major League Gaming has been canceled. Apparently, Activision bought them out for $45 million in some secret backdoor meeting.
I feel like esports is like still in its infancy, obviously. And there's a lot of kinks to work out. I think that like the whole medium has a ton of potential and it's really exciting. But the way MLG specifically handled a lot of their stuff apparently was like really bad.
Yeah.
And right now there's something called the ESL, like the Electronic Sports League, which is maybe the biggest, like more popular in like the whole world of that esports world. I'm not like super esports guy, so I can't comment too much, but ESL seems to be getting it right. And one of the worst things that MLG ever did was they don't stream their stuff on Twitch, and they don't let their players go on Twitch.
That's weird.
Or something like that, where they had to use MLG's specific streaming stuff, which is like god awful.
I hate that crap.
Yeah, but like Twitch hosts, the big Counter-Strike, Hearthstone, League of Legends, Dota tournaments, and those are massive. So
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
just
really,
interesting that it was Activision that did it.
yeah. I bet
I think
Activision
it's
has big plans with.
Overwatch is
Yeah,
just is
exactly. Overwatch, even Call of Duty and Destiny.
yeah.
Maybe if they get Destiny's PvP stuff
Yep,
ironed.
worked out. Yeah.
But
But so it could be a big thing for them. Maybe it's part of a bigger strategy we don't know about. But that's interesting that they spent as much as they did to buy it out.
yeah.
Interesting. And last and certainly not least, if only Kyle were here, it was announced the other day, just a couple days ago, that Final Fantasy IX is coming to PC and mobile.
Ooh.
Final Fantasy IX, as we have discussed as a team multiple times, is a great game. Probably some of our favorite from the original PlayStation Final Fantasy amazingness that Square gave us. And, I think putting it on PC and mobile's fine. The graphics look great. They did like a facelift, but I'm curious to see if the mobile is as bad as, 6 was and all that, where it's like weird.
I think it's hilarious that they're almost going to be able to come full circle, and I don't think we're too far off from a Final Fantasy X on mobile, which is like insane to me.
That's insane to me too. Like I remember,
Like that's so close.
PS2. That was like whoa.
Oh my god! This is going to go way kind of a deep cut, but I remember an EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Yeah,
they had a big cover story on Final Fantasy X, and it was this massive, however many page blowout art and gameplay screenshots and interviews and all this stuff. And I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy, so it wasn't quite my thing.
right.
But for whatever reason, this is like a bizarre memory. I specifically remember that issue having this whole section on cell phone video games about like Snake and like little breakout.
The Nokia N-Gage.
Yeah, no, this was way before the N-Gage. Not way before, like 2 years before. And I remember there was a part in the article that was like, Japanese cell phones have color displays, whereas us Americans have black and white displays. Like
I remember that.
So yeah, they had screenshots of like little RPGs on the cell phone, and it would be like these awful, like not even 8-bit, not even NES, like not even Atari, like barely recognizable cell phone screenshots of these little characters at a castle thing, and like. It's just so funny to me that in that issue in particular, it was like September 2001 issue. You can look this up on like Wikipedia, the September 20 or 2001. Oh, that's sad. That's like 9/11, September 2001. But that issue, like, it's so funny that the big cover story was on Final Fantasy X, this massive, huge PS2 RPG, and they had this little feature on, oh, by the way, here's these little dinky cell phone games. Isn't that cute? Oh, look, Japan has color displays on their phones. Ooh. And now we are probably no more than 2 years away from Final Fantasy X being on iPhone.
That's
like,
crazy.
How crazy is that? We're going to get that massive RPG on our cell phones. And it's going to be like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then, like, if you showed that to somebody in 2001, like, it's impossible to imagine, like, what the reaction would be like. Like, oh, yeah, Final Fantasy X? Like, yeah, that's going to be on your cell phone someday. Like...
The universe is going to be on our cell phone someday. I'm just saying.
I'm having a blast from the past here.
Well, anyway, Final Fantasy IX coming soon. Great game. Glad they're bringing it to a new generation. Very, very fun. More in the medieval style and not so much the futuristic-y, weird stuff that 7 and 8 brought to the series. So kind of gets back to its roots a little bit. And really, really excellent. Any other news, Brad?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Like, I almost don't believe you.
This is the calm before the Grampy storm, I feel like. So this is good to get all those wrapped up, those little bits from 2015, and we're moving on to this crazy awesome year. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to do the Grampies. I can't wait for this year. Like, there's so much stuff going on. I'm real excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's this year is going to be great. So speaking of this year, we obviously, as we said at the top of the show, have the Grampies next week, which is our award show. We'll give you all the rules and stuff then, so definitely be sure to check that out.
Word.
There will also be the 2016 prediction show is going to be the week after that. We've got, people who want to fly off the shelves talking about Star Wars, and we've got, more news coming in January with a variety of different stuff and all the things. So, as usual, you can check us out on Facebook or Twitter at GamerFeed Radio. We're on iTunes. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on TuneIn, and there's some SoundCloud crap out there, and we're every place. So if you haven't checked us out yet, tell your friends to do so. And all the new cool stuff coming soon. Until next time, gamers. Peace.
Peace.